is okay, and happy Sunday. It's 23rd Feb, and so I woke up early today due to some reason, and I made the second coffee of the day, and I was reading since the morning most of the time. I did some yoga and made my second coffee. I was reading My Work by Olga. I don't remember the surname, so I'm not gonna say it. I'll just put the book here, book cover here, and wow, phenomenal, just amazing. I don't want to say too much right now because I want to give a full-fledged review of it to you after reading it. I'm just, I think 33, 34% in. I started it the day before, so I read like 10 to 12% on that day in one sitting, and now I was reading and I read a lot of it in one sitting as well. It's really, it's in different formats, like it's in a format of a journal, poetry. In that way, it's very easy to read, it's very easy to grasp what's going on, and uh, everything. So yeah, enjoying it. Very weird. Uh, Still, I feel like some of the thoughts the protagonist has are very normal, and they can be a little weird to read about them because we do not accept those thoughts within us. But I feel like those thoughts are very much ordinary, normal, and those impulses are very, what do I say? Just casual. Not casual, but like normal, very common in everyone. Everyone has those impulses. Everyone feels that type in some areas of their life at some moment in their life. So yeah. So popping in here just to tell you about what the book My Work by Olga Raven is actually about. So because when I was editing the video, I realized I did not talk about that. Very classic me. But it's all about a mother who is turning a mother. I It's three different timelines: before the birth of the child, after, just after the birth of the child, and a few years later the childbirth. And the childbirth is a turning phase of her life on which she's writing about, and she has transformed into a mother. She is just finding herself. She's unable to identify herself and her feelings and her emotions between all of this motherhood, and she's not really feeling like a mother, and she's just confused with her emotions, and she's also has a history of anxiety and panic attacks. So yeah, it's her journey, how she is going through all of that, whatever she's feeling, even in her relationship with her husband, she how she feels about that. So the book is all about that. It's 26th February, and I thought I would give you an update on my reading right now. So the last time I updated was 23rd Feb. Today is 26th February. It's afternoon almost, like it's almost 12 p.m. And I thought I would tell you about the other books I'm reading these days. Like I'm in I'm in such a mood where I don't know what I want to read. Sometimes I want to read something else. Sometimes I want to read very depressed, very emotional and sentimental books. And just other times I want to read like a fantasy, fluffy, like very middle grade. So like I told you about my work by Olga Ravn, and loved it. Like I'm still loving it. Like I'm only I think 60% in. I'm not being able to read it because I'm not in a mood of a little emotional or just like that kind of book. I was really in the mood for fantasy and like just being into that imaginative world of fantasy and monsters and ghosts and things like that. So I was reading. I started this book, uh, Heroes of Olympus, the last book, The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan, and I just love it. I thought this would be the best bet I could um, put on right now because I have other fantasy books which I could have started, but it's like committing to a series is a big thing. And since I read the last book like 3 4 months ago, not 3 4, I think 3 months ago. So the House of Hades, I completed 3 months ago. So I thought I would just finish the series and be done with it because I also want to know what happens and what really goes on in the book. I started it only yesterday in the evening, so I'm on page 58 right now. But I just love it. You cannot go wrong with Rick Riordan, right? It's beautiful, it's funny, it's humorous. All the characters are so lively, so and they've grown so much. Like from the series of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, from the first book, The Lightning Thief, till here. This is like wow. Just I have loved every single book in the series. Some less than the others, and some more, but I'm just loving it, and I thought I would just pick it up and just be finished with it because you just fly through Rick Riordan. You just literally go through it. It's so much fun. It's so much entertaining. You love every character. I just love every character, even the ones I despise a little. I like to read about them and their stories and their POVs. Like we get new POV of Reina over here. We have new POVs in this book, and they're on their last quest. The demigods are divided into two groups, and one group is on one quest, and one group is on another. And I just love them. I just read 2 pages and I was like, okay, now there is action. Like 2 pages and you are into action in Rick Riordan's books. Yeah, and I also got to know that Percy Jackson is not a 5 book series anymore. It's been extended to 8 book series, and wow, I'm so excited to get my hands on the sixth and the seventh book, which are already out. And yeah, I would love to read them. Love to get into Percy Jackson. I was also getting this itch of starting rereading The Lightning Thief, the first book of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and yeah, maybe I will reread it, or just yeah. I just love Percy Jackson, the whole series, and even the Heroes of Olympus. It's amazing. And just look at the cover. It's amazing, right? I was also thinking of starting the Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan itself, which is based around the Apollo god, I guess, and his son. I don't know the synopsis. I do not want to know the synopsis of any Rick Riordan's books because they are just amazing. You don't need to know the synopsis. You just need to know who is the main character, and just you can just go in and believe it. Just believe the book that it will be amazing. You don't need any synopsis. So yeah, I'll update when I read more. The another book I've been reading for a long time. Like it's been 2 to 3 months I've been reading this book, but it's a classic, so I'm gonna take its time. I'm gonna give the time it deserves, and I also love this one. I mean, what's not to love, right? It's Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and just wow, this is my second book by him. The first one I read, White Nights, by him, and I read it because of Jake Edwards and his recommendation. Yeah, loved it. Phenomenal book. But this one, I picked it up because, of course, it was on my shelf for like 2 to 3 years, I guess, and I'm on page 274. I'm almost halfway through, as you can see. I want to read it. I'm flying through it whenever I pick it up. I pick it up and I just go through it. I love it. It's entertaining. It has so many turns and twists. It's Dostoevsky, man. You cannot go wrong with Dostoevsky. I just love him. I just love his writing. I love Raskolnikov. He's done some bad things, but still, I just love him. I just love the main character, the protagonist, and everything that surrounds it. And there are so many. Oh my god, there are so many quotes I've highlighted throughout the book. I mean, you can see this. Almost all of the pages are folded from the edges, and some of the times whenever I read at night, I don't want to pick up the book, so I read from my device and from the ebook, and I mark every single page. And there are so many highlights throughout the whole book. So those are all the books I'm reading. I hope you enjoy this video and you give a thumbs up, and please you can subscribe to the channel. And I love to chat with you guys and love to make videos which are so random and so uh, just chatting, just yapping about books and everything I'm reading, sharing it with you. Yeah, I am happy you are the part of a family. And if you're not, please subscribe.